Another absolute belter of a day here in southeast Victoria. We are having an incredible finish to winter. We're bashing down the door for spring. Got an important application coming up today and some exciting things to show you. So let's get into it. Sun, Jesus. Yes, g'day and welcome to a new video. Heading for 21 degrees today. Tomorrow is going to be 21 as well. It's going to cool off after that, but it's going to be about 5 days in a row of 20, and we had 18 or 19 a couple of days before that too. So a beautiful, beautiful stretch of weather here. Last August we didn't get above 20 at all for the whole month, so just absolutely perfect. Really, really nice taste of spring. So today, getting out my pre-emergent, talking all about it, hopefully giving you a full video, a full guide. I know what it's like when you're like, okay, I want to do something, but I need all the information, watering it in, how much to measure out, how to mix it up, all that sort of thing. So we're going to go through that today with pre-emergent to be preventing weeds for the next 6 months. But to start off with, how good is this? Finally, if you followed me for a while, you know this is something that's been on the radar. You know, people have asked for it and it's really good. Finally, this video is going up a day early. So if you're watching it the day it gets released, that's because tomorrow is a very big day with the relaunch of my lawn care programs, new programs coming out as well, and this merch. So got hats. This is in navy, but that was actually a misprint, so it's going to be black when they actually come out. Got this nice green colored shirts, like a light green sort of thing. I really like it. This is also in black with a white logo. We've done this kind of funny design, which you can read there. So the actual print is going to be a little bit bigger than that as well. So this was all getting a bit tight on timelines. So yeah, that's not exactly what you will get. It will be a little bit larger and lower. And the hoodie as well, which is something people really were interested in. So I've got the large round logo on the back there, and then just that straight simple logo on the front. So tell you what, these are all made and distributed from in Australia, so I definitely haven't gone overseas and printed them for $2 each, making a huge profit margin. The profit margins are very small. Some people would probably look at it and think, that is dumb. Why what is it even worth it? So yeah, the price tag on the hoodie especially is bigger than I would like it to be, but it is what it is. You can't sell things at a loss. So it's definitely not a huge profit by any stretch of the imagination. But anyway, it is just super cool to be able to have that stuff out. For anyone who's interested, I know what it's like for me as a YouTube watcher and just a fan of people. You know, it's really nice, and I like it to be able to buy a shirt or a hat or something like that and be able to wear that around. So yeah, hopefully if there's something you're interested in, go and check it out. And there'll be discount codes and stuff on Instagram. It'll probably just be the words Father's Day. So this is 2 weeks before Father's Day that it'll be live. So yeah, really cool. But anyway, lawn, mowed it yesterday, and then we sort of did a little bit of a photo shoot kind of thing for all this merch. So had the lawn looking crisp for that. Looks like we've had some sort of bird fight out here last night, but overall I am super, super happy with this for the middle of August coming out of winter. I do have some bits of clover and other little broadleaf weeds around the place. At some stage over the coming weeks when I mow, I'll just, when I get to those, I'll just take out my little weeding tool and I'll flick those out. There's definitely not enough weeds in here to justify spraying a herbicide, but today I will be spraying a herbicide, which is this. It's Spartan pre-emergent herbicide, which is going to prevent new weeds for the next 6 months. Now, my last video, I did talk about this a little bit. We're going a bit more in depth today. So if you get your timing of this product right, really, you should only need to spray it twice a year. And in that time, you're going to be able to prevent your main weeds for winter and then for summer. So all your crow's foot, all of your paspalum, your winter grass, your clover, all that sort of thing twice a year. So I sprayed around about 20th of March or something like that, which was probably about a month late, 3 to 4 weeks late on here, which is why I've just got little bits of weeds that are poking their heads out throughout winter, and they've matured now, sticking up in the lawn because I just probably mistimed it a little bit. By all means, if I didn't spray pre-emergent at all, they'd be everywhere. I'm getting heaps of questions at the moment as well about weeds and dealing with them. Look, for the most part, your winter grass and things like that, they're just gonna die by themselves as we get into spring, and the warmth, depending where you are and how warm it is, will kill them anyway. So to be honest, for some of them, depending on your situation, if you're overrun with weeds, yeah, maybe you do just need to spray them, kill them, and come into spring kick-started. If you're like me, you've got little bits here and there, pull some out by hand, but don't worry too much, because they're probably going to die by themselves with the heat. But for me now, I'm spraying my Preemergent now about mid-August, probably a little bit earlier, so I can get this video out. It gives people time to see it, to make time over the next couple of weeks to spray it, hopefully before September starts. But again, with Preemergent, even if you do spray at end of September, you're still going to be preventing a ton of weeds, even if you do get it out a little bit late, as I have here. Something important to note about Spartan and Barricade. Barricade is the same product, just with the same active ingredient, just in a larger bottle. But something to note, don't spray this on new turf unless that turf has actually rooted down into the ground. Don't spray it if you plan on doing any seeding work. Down here, I've got a couple of rolls of turf that I was given by my home turf breed. And so for me, this turf is just chilling here since Good Friday, and it is not rooted down yet. So I can peel that away. It's trying to throw down some roots, but it's not ready for Preemergent. Now, before we get on to mixing and spraying, I want to address a pretty frequently asked question. So this area here is where I absolutely destroyed it by driving machinery in here to fill in those veggie garden beds. And the frequently asked question that people have is about spraying Spartan to bare patches or to struggling lawns. Now, this area used to be full lush lawn. It's Kaiku. You can see all these roots here, the underground root system. It's also just got a bit of mud and clay kind of caked on top of it right now. So I've got a bit of work to do to bring it back to life, but really I'll top dress it, and those rhizomes, those underground roots, they'll just come back through and this will be fine. So I am going to spray Preemergent on this today, and it's going to be fine because I do have those underground roots. If this was buffalo, well, for one thing, I will have absolutely killed it. And so I'd need to lay new turf in this area. But yeah, people always have questions about bare areas. The easiest way and the best advice is to just skip over it and to just not spray it. So in that case, I would spray Preemergent probably up to about here, maybe over there, and just leave this area. But I am happy to spray it here, and it's going to be fine because of those underground roots. But if you are in doubt, my advice, just leave it alone. Don't spray the area. Can't go wrong with that. Skip ahead to next season, start using Preemergent next season. Over here, in terms of how much Preemergent to use, on here, it's got the rates for different weeds. It does say 40 mils per 100 square meters to control wintergrass. I've never had an issue with wintergrass using this at about 25 to 30 mils per 100. I have had issues with Paspalum though, at that amount, at that rate. And it does say 40 mils per 100 squares. So I'll definitely, for summer, be going out at 40 mils per 100. And then in winter, and for my autumn application, late summer, I'm more than happy to use it at a slightly lower rate. So 40 mils per 100 square meters is what I'll be doing today. So two important things you need to know for mixing: how big your lawn is, whether you get a tape measure, whether you roughly step it out, maybe you've got updated Google images, pictures that you can use from satellites and internet stuff, I don't know. Either way, you do need to know at least roughly that it's around about 70 or around about 200 squares. That's gonna help you out a lot with everything that you apply. Also calibrating your sprayer. So I've got videos about that. Next week I'm gonna make one about it. Fill your sprayer all the way to the top. Go out, walk consistently, spray your lawn twice, fill your sprayer back up and see how much is missing. That is how much you use to go across your lawn. Something else in terms of Spartan, this now does come in a 250 ml bottle as well. So really, really good options for smaller yards now with that smaller size. Now what I have done today, I missed out on a liquid fertilizer application last week. So I've just before this put in the Lawn Tips winter mix. Now, I'm not going to be able to answer questions for all different brands and all different types of products, but I know that that Lawn Tips mix is completely fine to be mixed with other things, even with wetting agent, even with this Preemergent. I know Luke from the Australian Lawn and Garden podcast, part of his service, he does a big spray application with like a kelp sort of product. His Barricade, wetting agent, did I already say that? A Saliprin, so a big mixture that he does around about this time for his clients, because it can all go in the spray tank at the same time. So I'm doing that today, and I'll talk about watering it in after it's sprayed. But something that's an issue for me now is how I'm dressed. So I'll fix that. Transition time. And now, without harping on too much about PPE, always read the product label for anything you're spraying. And I've said this before, but if you are someone who's really nervous about spraying things on your lawn, pretty much everything I use. It's safe to re-enter the area once it's dry. I always give it at least a few hours, half a day, or until the next day before the kids can come back out here. And if you are someone on the other end of the spectrum who is really careless about spraying products and you're more likely to go out there in shorts and thongs to spray this, I would say be careful with this stuff. It's not something you want to be breathing in, having in your skin, all that sort of thing. But yeah, this stuff, it wouldn't be available for purchase from your average consumer if it caused instant death if it touches your skin. It's just something, you know, put the stuff on, be careful, keep it simple. So I've got fertilizer and water already in here. If you are mixing this up, put your water in first, about half of your water, something along those lines. So now I need 200 mils of this product, 40 times 5, 500 squares. Yep. 200 mils of this. This jug's a little bit too big for this, but that's okay. 200. So I'm going to tip this in, give the sprayer a good shake, and then get out, spray it nice and evenly across the lawn. Well, great to get this down on this beautiful winter's day. I finished spraying probably about 15 minutes ago by the time I cleaned out the sprayer and moved around some camera equipment, etc. But over next to the veggie garden there, finished spraying that about 30 minutes ago, I guess, and it is now dry to touch over there. Just from looking at this, I don't really want to run my hand through it when I'm not exactly sure, but this looks pretty good too. And this right now, slightly sunny, slightly overcast sort of day. Must be about 18 degrees by now with a top of 21 because it's still only mid-morning. But just to give you a bit of an idea, in theory, easily within an hour of spraying, safe to re-enter this area. Me personally, I'd be, if the kids were home, be keeping them off it for another few hours, but just to give you a little bit of an idea. When it comes to this product and whether you need to water it in or not, you do need to water it in, but it's a really good product from that sense is that you've got a 7-day period to be able to water it in, and it needs to be watered in with 6 millimeters of irrigation. So for me here, that's running my sprinklers for 15 minutes per zone. I'm pretty sure, about, yeah, 15 minutes per zone. So that means it overlaps each zone. So if it was just one sprinkler, it would be about 30 minutes. So it's going to vary from different types of sprinklers and water pressures and all that kind of stuff. So if you did combine this with a wetting agent, you would be needing to water it in, depending on the type of wetting agent. But for most of them, you'd be needing to water it in within 3 or 4 hours, or it will burn your lawn. For me, I want to let this fertilizer dry on the lawn. In a couple of days, we're supposed to get some rain, around about 10 mil. So I am going to wait. I'm going to set a couple of alarms on my phone just in case I get distracted for the first one, to remind myself to look at that, have a look in the rain gauge, see if it rains. If it does rain, perfect, but otherwise at sort of day 3, day 4, if we haven't had the rain, it doesn't look like we're getting the rain. Just relying on rain in general for watering in products is a bloody nightmare, but for this one, you've got a nice big window to be able to water the product in. So yeah, 3 or 4 days time, I'll run the irrigation if we don't get the rain that we need to wash it in. So yeah, hopefully that covers pretty much everything when it comes to pre-emergence and for you to be able to get it out onto your lawn this season. I'll have a link to that in the description of the video. Check out also this weekend, if you're watching it now, the merch, lawn programs that are coming out as well for cool season and tropical climates, in addition to my climate and kind of New South Wales and SA. Put a lot of work into those, and a big thanks to Trav from the Lawn Lab up there in tropical Bundaberg, and to Ben from Lawn Tips for their input and that sort of thing into those programs. Super proud of those. They're going to be fantastic, and there's going to be other YouTube videos going up tomorrow, if you're watching this a day of posting, explaining more about the programs and what's in them and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, look, if you enjoy the channel and all that sort of stuff, you know, even just today, it's taken me an hour and 40 minutes to do a 20-25 minute job. So yeah, it's definitely something that I really enjoy. And hopefully, yeah, if you guys grab something, grab some merch, grab a hat, a shirt, a lawn program, you'll be able to have a lot of success with your lawn. and look good doing it, I hope. So anyway, thanks very much for watching that video. Put your questions in the comments. Anyway, thanks for watching. See you in the next one.